Zambia Blog Talk Radio.
Hello, good morning, America. Good morning, Zambia, and good morning, Mexico. Good morning, India, and good morning, Birmingham, United Kingdom, where Tony Robbins is having the UPW. So, it's all personal development today. But before I introduce our guest today, I want to take this moment to appreciate and thank the youth of Zambia. Not only Zambia, I even have some Nigerian youth who have watched and around the world. Sorry if I haven't mentioned any country. No, Zimbabwe and South Africa, Kenya and China too. Thank you for all the support you've showed for this show. Thank you for everything you've put in. I would have mentioned names, but that would be the whole show just mentioning names. I want to appreciate for everything you do, and I pray and hope this show brings life to you. And remember, transformation takes time. We bring you mentors, collaboration, networking. And thank you for all the background. Sometimes I might not be able to respond to you immediately, but eventually, I do. I truly, truly do appreciate you all for what you have done. Chilufia, Fletcher, Clementina, Messi, Opa, I would go Prophet, Elias, a lot of people. I can't even go on the line. And for all the watch parties you do and for all you put in, thank you very much. That said, I want to give a shout out. I just forgot to bring something that my president gave me to read. Indianapolis ladies are having an all pink party, all shades of pink, coming this weekend, July 29th. Come all. It's the show is almost full. Is it completely full? Any ladies from Indianapolis here? We're gonna have fun. We're gonna have great music, great taste of food, and everything. When I mean everything, I mean everything. Bring your hearts, bring everything. That said, thank you and welcome to this special show of personal development. Please pick up your pen, write something, because the man that we're going to have today, Dr. Rosa, who I met from the most powerful man on personal development, Tony Robbins. I'm going to introduce him now just quickly once he's on, and then he's going to introduce himself, because this is Speak Your Truth. So I cannot speak his truth. Only him can speak his truth, but I'll tell you how he and I met. This is Dr. Rosa. Dr. Rosa, welcome to the show.
Hello, everyone.
All the way from Mexico.
Thank you very much. Once it's a pleasure to be here with you and with all the community.
Yeah, and we've come a long way.
Yes.
We've come a long way. You and I met just at the heat of COVID-19, or just in between. I think at the start.
It was at the starting moment of the pandemic.
At the starting moment of the pandemic, in one of the VIP rooms, over challenges, I believe, Tony Robbins.
Yes, exactly.
Yes. And you have been a mentor in my life. You have been a friend. You have been a mentor to my to my tribe in Awaken Your Giant Within from our mentor, Tony Robbins, of course, right? And today, so when I thought about speaking on personal development, we have a lot of friends. We've built a lot of relationships, right? But there was no better person to come and speak about personal developments as you would do because of your life, your journey, the way you've done it. Yo, you guys, this man, I won't speak his truth, but I just want to pay respect for what he's done to be where you are. And I want to encourage you, don't be, whether you are 68, 70, 15, or 20, whoever is listening to this, listen to this. Remember, Dr. Rosa, even when we're in Start Over Challenge, we had people in our VIP class that were 68 and they were starting over, right?
Yeah.
So, guys, listen in, and I'm gonna give it to the doc to introduce himself. And thank you for everybody. Thank you for Gwen. Thank you, Elias. Thank you, Mildred. Thank you for all my people. I truly appreciate your support. Dr. Ross, you've got love here, and we've got a watch party going on. So thank you so much. Over to you, Doc.
Thank you very much, Magwanza. It's a pleasure to be here with all of you. One thing that I'm doing right now is I'm entrepreneur scaling coach. I help people to develop their business to scale to the next level by developing their own skills in the personal growth. And furthermore, I have an agency about public speaking. So I help people to develop the fear of public speaking, to overcome some anxieties when they are in front of an audience and say, "Oh my God, I don't know how to tell my message." And I create during the pandemic a studio or an agency, marketing agency, but focus on podcast and live streaming. So I produce here in Mexico different podcasts for customers and live streaming events. But one thing, I'm from Barcelona. I was born in Barcelona in Spain, and now I'm living for 7 years here in Mexico.
Wow. So tell us about the story about being personal development. And Dr. Ross, I've got a lot of um, people on different ages and stages listening. I know a bit of your story, where you started from Barcelona, how you'd ride on a train, how you taught yourself. And since English and everything, just tell us just your beginning of the story, where it all started from.
The beginning of my story is like very interesting because at the beginning I was the shiny person in the room. I didn't take care about myself or I didn't love myself so much because I received bullying at the school. So imagine the situation, one child with 11 years old, his father had the cancer of pancreas. So imagine the situation. I was
Mm.
at this size to lose my father. At this day, to my father is alive. He's living in Barcelona and he's taking care about my nephews. But in that moment, imagine the situation with when you are like very young and then the doctor say, okay, your father is not going to live more than 1 year. So enjoy your life because with him, because at the end it will be like very hard if you don't manage this situation, and it will be like very quickly because this cancer is taking the life very soon. So that make me so many frustrations, anxiety, and then at the school I didn't was like the best person or the best student. So for me it was like very difficult to adapt to a new school. And imagine the situation when you are in front of the people and then they say, okay, we are going to do some jokes with Agustin, and then I received so many bullying at the school. So it was like very hard for me to go to the school to study and at the same time to be happy. So this was like the two things that I didn't have in my life: happiness and like this social like friends, like good friends that they take care about me. So it was like 1 year and a half very difficult for me. And thank you to my uncle. I started to work when I was 13 years old, so it was like I was working like very young, but it was one thing that for me helped me a lot because my uncle say, okay, now if we go to a restaurant, you have to smile the person. If you are going to be in a new place, you have to say hi. And everything that he teach me during 7 years that I was working with him all the summers, start to change something in my inside me, but I didn't know that until I arrived to the university. When I arrived to the university, I was with the label here that I was the fat guy and I was the shiny person in the room, and that stopped me to find so many opportunities. So after 2 weeks of being at the university, I said, I have to change. I don't want this in my life. I was suffering for so many years in the past. So I'm going to do something different. I'm going to not sitting in the back of the stage or the room. I'm going to be in the front line. And I don't know if I will be like the best speaker in the room because I was the worst speaker in the room. So I'm going to ask questions to the teacher. So that change of the attitude helped me to find that the personal development could be possible. During all my years of during the first career, it was very difficult for me because everything I was doing on myself, I didn't know that it was Tony Robbins at the moment. I didn't know that it was the personal growth. I didn't know that it was people that they help you to develop your skills and to foster your competencies. So that it was a long process for me. So I say, okay, I'm afraid to be speaking in front of an audience. So I'm going to teach people during the weekend about something that I can teach. That is, it was Office and PowerPoint and Word. And
So sorry to Dr.
yes,
Rosa to stop you in the middle. So you started teaching at when you were at the
when I
university?
at the
That's when
university during the weekends, I say, okay, I'm not going to find a job that it will
okay, so
be
from being bullied,
yes
you decided to sit in the front
in the front, yes,
and then starting to teach.
exactly.
Okay, that's too much. That's extreme. Okay, where do you get that from? Because that's a lot.
So it was something inside me that say life could be better. I don't believe that I'm in this world to be an unhappy person that not doing anything else that the one that I was learning during all my uh, young. So I say, okay, let's go to try. I start to swim when I was 3 years old, and I learned to swim because I was like every week doing to the training of swimming to the swimming pool. So for me, it was okay if I learn about swim during once per week for almost 10 years, pues if I develop my skills and I'm in front of an audience after 10 years, I should be a person less shiny.
Wow. So this is the thing you see about 10 years. This is we live in a generation where we want instant gratification. But yet there you are. You said if I start doing this, I can have in 10 years. What can you tell our listeners, especially even my young youths, even me at my age, even to think about 5 years sometimes it's hard. So how do you get to, because this is what, let me take back and say this.
Yes, of course.
If you don't take one, so a journey of 1,000 miles look like too much. But if you just take one step today and the next step tomorrow and one, but we don't start because we think of 1,000 steps. And in personal development, how do you think of that and be able to start, whether be it a business, be it a loving relationship?
In that Parma, one thing that I have learned during these years is sometimes we try, as you say, we want to have the huge impact and then we want to have the 1,000 steps in only one step, but it's not possible. So you are frustrated and then you are desmotivated and you don't know how to feel or how to manage the stress. So in that part, one advice that I can teach people is okay, we have to create the stage that is the perfect one for you. The stage is not going to be only in front of an audience, is the environment. If we have the environment that we can create something, that we have the strategy, that we have a system in order to uh, develop our skills. And I want to help with you to share with one example. When I start to write my first book about public speaking,
Mhm.
I need 14 months to write the book. The first 6 months, I didn't know how to write the book. I didn't have the inspirations. I was thinking that maybe 50 pages it will be a large number of pages. The book has 304 pages and it's printed with the larger publisher in Spain. But all the process, I need 14 months. Furthermore, the time that the publisher need to uh, develop the book, to print the book, to send to the stores. When I was in a meeting with Brian Tracy in Lithuania, he teach us about, okay, one thing that for me is very important, I take off one Saturday. This Saturday is only for me. I don't exist for anyone, not for family, not for friends, not for customers.
Wow.
And in one day, I write, and after I send all my pages to my publisher, and in one day I'm a bestseller. And I was, oh my god, Brian Tracy is writing a book in one day. I need 14 months, furthermore the time to be on the stores. So I say, okay, now that motivates me to say, okay, I can write a book in only 30 days. And that goal that I said on my mind, in 30 days I had the book. So I wait a few days later until my birthday in December. So I say, okay, I'm going to register the book today, and after I'm going to send to the publisher. But it was only 1 month, the time that I take to write the book. So sometimes in personal growth is, okay, how much time do you want to develop one skill, or what is the deadline that you want to achieve one goal, and you have to be with everything focus if you want to achieve that.
You know what, Doc? One thing you said, I remember when we're doing this Start Over Challenge.
Yeah.
Since this is Speak Your Truth, I was at the weakest point in my life. I had health issues. And one time, almost midnight, right? I was doing my daughter's hair. Then I saw Dean Graciosa's ad. And then I said, I'm going to do this. And then I went over, I'm like, I'm also going to be part of the VIP because I really wanted to do this. And then the base thing that came out of that was then I made all of you in the whole group of us. We've gone to have people that are doing physical training, that are doing real estate, people that have done millions, right? From that group, a lot of things have happened. And the reason why I'm sharing this to all our listeners is never despise the day of small things. And I'm gonna just to hit a point that Doc said. You said about writing. You actually inspired me the first time in the group, right? When you did your first book came out. I was like, how did you do that? We just did finish the conference. How did you write? And you did it in such a short time. And then me, it took me almost a year or so to even decide. I know I have all these books I've started writing, but when I saw your book, I said, okay, I'm going to have to write this because you have to start somewhere. You can never edit a blank page. Everybody who wants to be a writer, and even those of you that are listening, can I say that again? You can never edit a blank page. And Doc just said something. Take some time to yourself. Take some time to yourself. Put out everything. That's what personal development is about. Am I right, Doc? You have to put some time for you.
And is one thing is you have to take time for you,
Mm-hmm.
and you have to say, okay, if I want to do this, I have to take the time because I
Mm-hmm.
worried for this. It's not only to say I want, because people, when they say I want, I have one friend that I love, and we have a long, long
Mm-hmm.
friendship, but he say in 2010, I want to write a book. In 2023, he has not write a book. And this is one step at time, one thing at time.
Wow. Doc, I want to just change gears here.
Change, please. Let's go.
So, you taught yourself how to speak English.
Uh, Imagine the situation. In my education in Spain, I didn't have any training of English because I was on the old school. I was born in 83. So the thing is, I didn't have English. So it was for me very hard for everything. I tried some English courses and it was very hard for me to learn. And one day, I received the opportunity to go to Brussels in Belgium. And it was like very interesting because they say, okay, Agustin, you can be the international treasurer of the European Confederation of Your Enterprise. I say, okay, that sounds perfect for me. I was studying accountability as my first degree. And say what I need. They say, okay, you have to do a English speech about 5 minutes about what are your motivations, why do you want to become the international treasurer of Jade, and say, okay, how much time I need to prepare that? I say, you have like 10 minutes. We are going to do the break, and then after that, you will present it. And I was, oh my God, I have to do a pitch in English and I need only 10 minutes to develop that. So I speak with my international manager. I say, Manel, I need to develop a pitch. I don't speak English. You are my translator. So I need some help. I say, okay, we are going to write a phonetical pitch. And obvious, you are not going to speak for 5 minutes, but we are going to do the best, at least to achieve 3 minutes. So people see that you take care. You are going to be like more slowly. And you are going to have few notes, and at the end, we are going to prepare 10 questions. So if people ask anything, I will be on the back of the room and I will say 7. And I will check my paper and I say, okay, now I have the answer. So it was like very interesting because I did that, but with so much passion. And okay, I will be very motivated to be the international treasurer of that. And after that, I one person say, okay, Agustin, but you don't speak English. I say, I know. I know that I don't speak English, but next week I will be in a saturation English course in ESADE Business School. And they say, okay, if you have that, yes, 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 I have. I register and I have here my application. I say, oh my God, no. So I did everything online. And when I arrived to Brussels, I was every day like listening people because I was living with the company, all my friends that in that
Mhm.
company, and then we were working together. So we spent so much time together. And I say, people start, oh, Agustin, you are from Barcelona. Okay, let me know about your life. Do you have a sister, a brother? I said, yes, no? And okay, let me know. And what are your passion? I was, yes, no? And I didn't understand anything for the first month. So I was all the time, email, please, email. So Google Translator and say, okay, they are asking that. So they thought at the beginning that I was the shiny person. And I say, okay, Agustin has a problem. Okay. After 3 months, I was speaking English as a child. I was not stopping speaking English, and I was starting to do conference in English and everything. So I learned the English, but because I moved from one country to another, and I forced to think in English, to watch movies in English. And one thing, Maguanza, I was running out of any Spanish person that I meet in Brussels. I say, okay, thank you very much. I don't have time, but see you later. Because for me, it was very important to learn English in that moment.
Okay. All
That changed
right.
my life. That changed my life.
Okay, let me say something about that.
Okay, okay.
That is real personal development 101. You have this. Okay, and I love the fact that you have to run from anybody who is speaking Spanish because, oh, bye bye, because I need to learn English.
Exactly. I didn't have the
Okay.
time. I was spending all my 1 year in Brussels. And
Yes, because I have to think in English. I have to, guys, what is that one thing that you need to change? And which are those friends for a moment that you need to put away in order to develop that one thing that you need to do? That's personal development. You need to sacrifice. And before I go, can we have some maybe we do some comments? We see we have people here, and thank you for everybody. So, well, Gwen said, great, change your attitude towards your life to achieve something. That is very important. Yes. And in summer, uh, it's all I'm knowing now. It's focus. Thank you, Doc, for reminding me as well. Life has distractions, but choosing focus is the best. And that is very important. Doc, he's Spanish, he even chose to leave Hispanic people like, you're speaking Spanish, you're not talking to me. I want my English people. But Mildred says, great point. Every long journey starts with one step.
and one thing more, Magwanza, and this is very important, at least in the personal development growth. I was afraid of
Mhm.
being in front of an audience, of
Mhm.
do public speaking because I have fear of public speaking. I was afraid of speaking in English because I didn't know English. So this is something that we have to take care in our life, because after all of these years, I
Mhm.
was afraid of public speaking. I do conference around the world. I was afraid of speaking in English. Now I speak in English. I do trainings in English, and I do trainings in Spanish, in Catalan,
Mhm.
in another language. So at the end, something that I was afraid 20 years ago, now is my profession, now is my career, now is my passion.
Wow. You know what? Let me ask you a question. Speaking in English, because you were just from having a huge conference yesterday. How many
Yeah.
people attended?
520 people.
That's a lot of people for a conference. And kudos to you. And I'm going to ask you that. But one thing I want to tell you, like, even for everybody listening, even it doesn't have to be, sometimes we're afraid to speak up or to be in places or boardrooms, especially us people where English is our second language because of our accents,
Yeah.
because we cannot pronounce whether it's data or daughter, or how are you able to be so, because you are so confident, but sometimes we're even afraid to go to the doctors and really tell them exactly what we are, or youths are able to even do what they, because no, they will laugh at me with my accent. I've worked in the corporate world where sometimes I keep quiet because of my accent, because sometimes my accent irritates some people. How are you able to overcome that?
At the end, one thing that I have learned in all of this year, everyone has an accent, including your own language.
Yes.
In Spain, we don't speak the same in Barcelona than in Andalusia or in País Vasco or Basque Country, no?
Mm-hmm.
And one thing that I say, okay, if I want to develop my skills, I don't have to to have fear of failing on the process, because a child, they don't have problem. For example, it was like very interesting thing, because in the on the vocabulary and the expressions and everyone speak like different. I was in Brussels, and one day it was we were 18 all together. So I was in that moment that I start to speak like a child, few words, but I could make a short sentence. And people say, Agustin, take care, this house is very hot. I say, okay, this sauce is very hot. Sauce, okay, is the this bottle, okay, hot. In Spanish will be caliente, something
Uh-huh.
warm. I say,
Mhm.
but it's on the fridge. Ah, European people crazy. but it's something after that, and I didn't eat any spicy thing. So it was for me very hard. And one thing that at the end you understand is, okay, maybe you don't have the perfect accent, maybe you don't have the perfect pronunciation, but at the end people will understand because your passion. Body language is
Yes.
helping a lot. For example, my mother doesn't speak any word of English.
Hmm.
I bring one friend from Netherlands, and she was speaking with my mom. I said, "How do you speak with my mom? My mom doesn't speak English. You don't speak Spanish." No, no, because we use our hands, and then we use the
Yes.
body, and
Hmm.
then at the end we understand. So 80% of the communication at the end is body language. So don't be afraid if you don't have the perfect pronunciation, because it's something that you are going to develop with the years. Maybe and sometimes people say, "Oh no, this is Spanish." I know, I can see in the accent. But if you focus, and this is something important in personal development growth, don't focus in your fear, don't focus in your mistakes,
Hmm.
focus in the things that you have to, you know
Yes.
how to do, and take care about people. This is one of the most important things. If I care about you, I don't care if I say one word with A or U at the end. Is you are going to understand me. If not, I'm going to teach to speak with you with other word, with other sentence, and at the end, or with other examples, so you are going to understand.
You know what, Doc? We're gonna go and have one ad by Vanessa and an ad, and then we're gonna come back and do your video that you did on personal, on public speaking and fear.
Perfect.
Over to you, Honorable. If you've got
We are a
any ad.
multidisciplinary construction firm that specializes in a wide range of construction fields, including but not limited to architectural, civil engineering, mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, real estate. Our commitment to excellence is evident in every project we undertake, as we strive to provide a client-focused experience that is driven by their needs, quality assurance, and resource optimization. Our services encompass general construction, civil works, roads, interior design, landscape, swimming pools, building renovation and remodeling. Our consultancy services include project management, project costing, construction management, project planning, just to mention a few. We're dedicated to providing the highest quality of work, which is why our company motto, Build It Right, is at the forefront of everything we do. Our vision for building the Oakberg Way reflects our commitment to quality and integrity, ensuring that every project we undertake is built to the highest standards. When you choose Oakberg as your construction partner, you can expect a unique and unparalleled experience. Our approach to building sets us apart in the industry, and we are confident that you will see the difference in our work. So why wait? Get in touch with us for a quote today. Oakberg Resources. Build it right.
So, Doc, thank you so much. I want just to see if we can play the video that you did on the fear of
Yes.
speaking. Let me see. I don't know if we
Do you want the like the clip, the one
no,
minute?
I think we're not. I don't know. I think maybe our honorable has it. Let's see if we can play that video. If
If not,
not, we're
we
gonna
can share the screen
yeah
and the camera.
yeah. We can talk about it.
Welcome to Public Speaking Powerhouse, where we believe that your story matters. Today, we are going to speak about one very important topic, that is how we can change our life by developing our skills in public speaking. My name is Agustin Rosa. I'm podcaster, public speaker, and entrepreneur scaling coach. If you are afraid of being in front of an audience, if you want to improve your public speaking, if you want to help inspire other people with your message, this is your training. One thing that I want to share with you is how we can change from this situation that it was around 20 years ago.
All and implant new strategies, then you have to
enjoy the place that you are going to share with your audience. Entonces, no te preguntes quién eres. O sea, cambia la pregunta. Pregúntate en quién te tienes que convertir para ser otra vez feliz. That scenario helped me to develop the skills that I need in order to be more confident, to create a better message, to foster my skills. I had the amazing experience after 10 years doing conference. One person write to my email, say, Agustin, thank you very much for the tips that you gave me 10 years ago. You don't have to be worried about your fear. Be worried about the message that you are going to share with the audience, because the audience is the most important thing that you have to take care. And then when you find the voice and you find the perfect audience, and then you share your message with the world, you enjoy every day, you have more energy, you are passionate about everything that you are talking about, and then you start to develop the skills to become a better and greater speaker. I will teach you about all the techniques, tips that I have learned during the last 20 years, developing my skills, making a research about the public speaking, and helping you to be a more confident person. You will not need 20 years to achieve that. I'm going to give you all the tips. I'm going to share all the techniques, all the strategies that they are going to help you to improve your public speaking. Because this is not only a course, it's a journey and a lifestyle that we change life with our communication. And thank you very much for being part of this community, sharing your knowledge in Public Speaking Powerhouse, where we believe that your story matters.
Wow, that is amazing. And you know what? There's a young man that I know is not here and wanted to. There was a time we're doing a movie review in the group, I think about one of the movies, and you came and did. And his name is Fletcher. He asked you about the fear of public speaking. If you wanted, and you tell him, don't fear, just start. He's one of the upcoming speakers. If anything, he was on the show. I'll send you the video. I'll send you the link to that, because you encouraged him about 2-3 years ago. So everything you do, Doc, is powerful. And tell us about the fear of public speaking, because even me, people see like, oh, you don't have fear of public speaking. Oh, Lord.
Yeah, and sometimes people say, no, you are so confident. No, you have developed the skills, but you have doing that for 20 years. If you worry about the audience and you take care about your message and everything that you want to do, and you want to say, okay, I want to do my perfect pitch today, you are going to be feeling this fear of public speaking. But one thing that we have to understand, one thing is the fear of public speaking that is stopping us to move forward, to develop our skills, to share our message, to amplify our voice. And the other is the fear of public speaking that is motivating us to be a best person, to be a best speaker, to develop our skills. Yesterday, when I had this large conference, it was for a sales team, and I have to do the winner mindset. So, okay, I'm going to do the winner mindset for these people that they are working in a large company here in Mexico. It was, I say, okay, one of the most important things is if I feel all the stress that I suffer on my body, and I take care about, okay, now I'm feeling the anxiety. No, I'm feeling that I'm not going to be the best, or I'm going to have so many mistakes. You are going to fail in your presentation because you are focusing on the bad things that could happen. Everything that, for example, yesterday, I was preparing the conference was in the afternoon, that I was preparing myself from the morning when I wake up. I say, today I'm going to rock them. Today I'm going to teach so many things that can help to inspire one person in the group. And don't think that it will be like 500 people. And you say, oh my God, 500 people, 1,000 eyes. No. It's the thing. I have the opportunity to share my message with 500 people that they are going to receive the information. They are going to talk about what I was telling them, and they are going to make reflections and think about everything that I was speaking. When you start to change this chip inside of your mind, everything changed because every moment that I have yesterday, like free time, I was thinking, okay, what I can do to make more engagement. I know I'm going to create a Mentimeter so they can write and I can check how is the room or what are the feelings that I see that they have, but they are not going to share with me because I don't have time to speak with everyone. Okay, now I'm going to do other thing. Is okay, I want that people say, oh, this is like very interesting. How can I change my message to speak this part of my history that connect more with the people? What are the other examples? So when you start to prepare everything, and something that happened to me yesterday was like very interesting because I give so many examples for their business, and they was like, oh my god, this is amazing. I take care about them. I take
Mhm.
time to think about what will be like the best practices, the best examples. And at the end, I was so passionate about the topic that when I watch my clock, say, "Oh my God, I need is only 5 minutes left, and I need at least 15 slides more because I was doing so many examples and doing the theoretical, the experience part, the
Yes.
practical part." So I say, "Okay, can I have 5 minutes more?" I say, "Yes, yes, of course, take 5 minutes, 10 because we love your topic." And this is something that sometimes happen. We have so many tools that we want to share with the person, but if we are afraid, and imagine the situation 20 years ago when I started to do the trainings and you saw me on the screen,
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to say, okay, I read the PowerPoint or the slide, and then people start to get boring or bored, and then say, oh my God, if I'm going to do that for the next 8 hours, people are going to fall to sleep very quickly. And I was expert doing or sleeping audience or people during my trainings, and I say, I don't love this. I have to change. So from that day, 20 years ago, I start to include at least one thing that people say, okay, I love, okay. So I start to take care more about the public and the audience than about myself. All, of course, for 5 years, I was
You
feeling.
know what, Doc? Sorry, you just said something more very important. You started to care more about the audience
Yeah,
than yourself. I think that's also one thing about personal development. Like, if you, like Dean or Tony Robbins always says, actually, let me give out a shout out to one of my friends in the United Kingdom. Again, I'm Moaza. They're at the UPW right now in the United Kingdom. When are we going to the UK again, Doc? Because we have to attend one of the.
we
So
have to set a date.
we have to set a date. But I'm saying one of the thing about personal development, if you do not develop yourself, or you do not invest in yourself, it is the other person, or you are leaving this world, you are not making this world a better place. If you are fearful, one of the comments that here that says from Munsama, she says, what you're afraid of can be, what you're afraid of can be a weapon God can use for your purpose. And Elias also says something. For sure, the fear of public speaking is a limiting factor. For sure, the fear of public speaking is a limiting factor of reaching our great heights, Doc. So the thing here is that fear, but I'm going to the point where you say, start thinking about the people than yourself. Once you start thinking like it's not about you, it's about the
Them.
people you're saving, it's about them, then you start enjoying yourself. You have more energy. Like, for some times, I don't feel like doing a show, but I'm like, for just that one person, that will say, oh my goodness, that helped me so much. Oh my Lord, that just did so much to me. Because we are all so afraid of public speaking. And the reason why public speaking is very important, like one of Tony Robbins' mentor, John Ron, says, without communication, there's hardly anywhere you can go. And I learned it the hard way. I linked it the hard way. Like, so I just started putting myself there with So guys, do not fear. Fear, yes, but use it. Can you use fear to amplify your calling, your personal development, Doc?
Yes, of course. This is my PhD. Or the only thing is only in Spanish. But I create my PhD about this.
Uh-huh. You can amplify, right? So we're gonna be ending in about 5. Can you tell us about your book, especially the one you're about to try to translate into English, right?
Yes, and the book is called 100. One moment, I'm with the Spanish name. Sorry, 1 second.
Mm-hmm. That's fine.
The thing is, I have created 3 books, but
Mm-hmm.
the last one is about the money. It's about how you take care about your personal finance. And one thing that for me was like very important is sometimes there are so many things that you have to take care. And I create the book that is called 100x Profit Roadmap. In Spanish, we call Juego del Dinero. For that, I was like, say, no, it's not Game of Money. Sorry. And in that, this is a book that I speak about how you can change your mind, how you can develop your skills with the personal finance. And at the end, how you can scale your business in order that if you know how to manage your cash flow and to manage your resources. Because sometimes we say, okay, we are going to create the large project, and I have a large mistake that it was, okay, I'm going to uh, ask for a loan to create my business, and it was perfect, but the customer didn't pay. So it was very hard because I ran out of cash flow. So imagine the situation that, oh, now I have to survive my business, but I don't have the loan, and I have to pay the credit plus the interest, and that make me to stop for 1 year my activity and to find other activities in order to receive this extra income. So it's like very interesting because it's like the way of thinking, the habits that you can implement, and there are so many activities and exercises that you can download and you can feel in order to apply for your life.
Oh, that's good. And as soon as you do, give us, and the family will be very happy to do. One thing I want to ask quickly and in a short sentence, if you can, for everybody, like a start over challenge. Where do you, what are the simple, because sometimes we think these things are very complicated. Like for me, when I've been on this personal development for a long time, but very much into it after the start over challenge, and especially in the pandemic, what is more important? Sometimes we think investment is just in land, in bonds, and what is investing in personal development not as equally important?
I think that is the most important thing if you are starting a business. Because one thing, if you don't have the perfect product, if you don't have the customers, if you don't have the strategy, if you don't have the business model canvas or the business model plan, if you don't have so many things that is required to have a good enterprise and make money and help so many people, if sometimes happen, people, they have the best product, they don't have to sell. People, they have the most amazing idea, but they are afraid to develop this idea. So we start to grow because one thing, our businesses cannot grow if we don't grow. This is something about very important. And you don't have to have all the resources. If we see Dan Grassosi when he started on the personal growth, it was one guy different from the one that is today. If we see the videos from Tony Robbins from 40 years ago, record in videotape, is very different at the energy that he has today, and he's 62 years old almost.
Yes. So if you heard what Doc says, if you do not personally grow, even your business cannot grow. Your spiritual lives cannot grow. Your churches cannot grow. Even your relationships cannot grow because it's all dependent on personal development. And while we're at this, guys, we're about to end soon. Before I say thank you, be sure to subscribe and like and link and share all this and come back again and again, because transformation takes time. And it's all about collaboration and networking and everything, because you never know what you hear. Sometimes not everything might appear to you at that very moment, but just that one thing. Isn't that what Tony Robbins tells us? We are in these, 20 hours conferences, and it's like just that one thing.
But
and
20 hours conference in one day.
Yeah, in one day.
Magwan, I think one thing is important to finish.
Yes.
Always ask, what is the most important thing that you have to do today before you go to bed?
Oh, so guys, what is that most important thing that we have to do today before you go to bed? Oh, wow. Because actually that sets up your next morning, right?
Yes.
I remember. I'll remember and write that down. What is that most important thing? Everybody listening, before you go to bed, it's very important. And Doc, I want to say thank you. I can't wait to see you again on the show, and then in Zambia next year. And everybody, Thank you for your support. And Sama, Elias, Gwenny, everybody, and Doc, please, to your family and to that lovely son of yours and your wife, we say thank you very much. And thank you, Mexico. And thank you, everybody around the world listening to us. We really do appreciate. And this is the end of Speak Your Truth. You heard it. You heard about personal development from the very personal developer right there. Thank you so much. Have a good day.
Kai, bye-bye.
They want me down, they want me suffer, they want me gone, but I'm a biggie man, brother.
Zambia Blog Talk Radio.